What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So, as you can see from the thumbnail, oh, and this is for entertainment purposes only. As you can see from the thumbnail, I had a pretty darn good week. As of market close, I'm up $851. Not too bad. So, this week I kind of just, I just kind of looked at GBP USD mostly and Euro USD. USD CAD never came back into our zone, right? USD CAD, I was hoping for it to drop back into this zone here, and then I was looking for the buy, but it never made it there, and it just took off without me. This one is frustrating me because I think this is just going to keep going. It's going to keep going. This is going all the way to break that double top. Like I said in the beginning, I know it is. It's going up there. It's going to go smash through that. And we're on our way up, but the second I jump in, it'll start to retrace. So I need to see the retracement. I need the pullback. Otherwise, it's just going to have to go without me. I shouldn't have got out of this trade in the first place. So I've been trying to hold things a little bit longer, and not panic. And it's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You know what I mean? So GBP USD, this one, I was looking for, on Sunday we were right here. It doesn't look the same as Sunday because I move stuff around. But yeah, basically Sunday we were here and I was looking for a move to come up into this sell zone and take out these highs before it dropped down. And then I had a buy zone sitting down here. And I'm like, okay, well, if price makes it down into that buy zone, then I'm going to buy there. Or if it makes it up into the sell zone, I'm going to sell up there. It never made it to the sell zone. But it made it to the buy zone this week. So I placed a buy down here. And I held it for 3 days. 3 days. And on Friday, like around noon, I was up like $1,200. And then it started to pull back. So now what? Here's the plan. Here's my plan. I watched the Fed speech. I like to watch. The Fed got questioned, basically, from Republicans. And they were asking some damn good questions, right? And if you haven't seen the video, you should probably go watch it. But they were asking some, not gotcha kind of questions. They were good questions. Like, hey, if we go back in history and look at inflation and what it was 10 other times in history, this is what we had to do to get that inflation under control. What are you doing now? And if we look at history, basically you would have to keep raising interest rates until we had 10% of all people in the United States unemployed, and we're at like 3 right now, and it's being felt. I mean, it's being felt. People are being laid off. People are getting their salaries cut. Like, it's getting ugly out there. And he was basically asking, like, hey, you can either continue to raise interest rates, which is going to put more people out of work, or the government can stop spending money. What do you think? And he didn't want to answer the question. It was like he had somebody over him telling him to shut his mouth. Whoever it is, but it looks like potentially they don't have inflation under control, and that he might have to ramp up these interest rates again. So from what the charts look like right now, it looks like GBP might be going lower. Aussie already busted through the weekly level that I was kind of interested in. Look at this. Sell zone. I don't know what that's doing there. Let's cancel that. Yeah. So I had this buy zone right here. Weekly buy zone. This is the last weekly support level on the weekly chart here, and we just came smashing right through it. And I noticed some pairs kind of lead, and you'll see other pairs doing the same thing. So like Euro USD, we're not quite there yet. You can see the last weekly support levels right here. Yeah, we're not quite there yet, but it looks like we're in some sort of correction overall. So I still think this is going to drop before we reverse. It doesn't seem like the correction is over yet. Same with GBP USD. You can see that it looks like it's just a correction still, right? And it looks like potentially this is going to go lower. So, and here's the thing. Look at GBP like this. So if we go to the monthly chart, let's go to the monthly chart. Zoom out a little bit. So you can see the green line at the top, and then I had one like this. Right? We had a bounce, we had a false break, and then it started pushing back up. And I was thinking potentially that this was the bottom and that this would come straight back up. And that is still a possibility, right? That is a possibility. But if we take that line away and now zoom in on the monthly chart and I put a yellow line right here. This is just a support and resistance line. We had a bounce, another bounce, then we broke through. We came up and retested this level right on the nose, and it looks like we're getting a push off. We have a bearish engulfing on the monthly. So this looks like it could be heading back down for a while. Whether it takes this low out, I don't know, but I definitely think things are going lower, and there is a potential for a market crash. Because you can see, if we go to like, yeah, look at this on the 4-hour chart. Look at Japanese yen. Look at the gap up. Look at that gap. Holy crap. Swiss franc gapped up. So the yen, the franc, and the dollar, generally speaking, are like risk off kind of trade. That's where risk off money goes. Risk on would be money coming out of these safe havens and going somewhere else. So it looks like, I mean, that's a big gap. So I would want to wait for a retracement of some kind, but it looks like we want to be looking for Swiss franc long, yen long, and dollar. See, the thing with dollar, though, dollar sold off. It had a quick sell off, but I think potentially we could get a snapback, and I think this could keep going higher. I mean, we're still in an uptrend on the short term here on the 4-hour chart. Like, we came down, we tested a long-term support trend line. We got a bullish engulfing on the monthly, and we're heading up. So this could be a correction for another push up. So I still think, yeah, that's what it's looking like to me. So that's why I'm going to try to trade accordingly. So GBP USD, if we move this trend line down to here, which is basically just this bottom trend line, touch, touch, touch. I copied it, dragged it up. And then if we go to the 1-hour chart, you see this? Yeah, it looks like price, respect, false break, respect, false break, respect, and respect here. Big push down. We came up, we broke through that resistance trend line, and it just kind of nestled itself right on it at market close. So this is like a break and retest to me, it looks like, potentially. So I'm thinking for this, what I'm going to do is, if they're going to shoot the market down, we still have this double top sitting here. And we came very, very close to it, but didn't take that out. Does it need to be taken out? I don't know. Maybe not, because we took out this high. But I still think that there's money there if they're going to drop this thing. I mean, that would make sense to me. So I dragged my stop up to here, which is below this little zone here, which we have some reactions out of, you know, here, and some wicks. And it's just below this trend line. So if this thing decides to come straight down and bust through this little zone here, I'm taking the 614 and I'm walking. But I'm going to hold firm if we can get one more push back up and come up and take out these highs. Then I'm going to take profit there at $1,406. And then I'm going to immediately get back in short because I think this thing's going lower. So I have, yeah, stop loss, take profit, and a sell order just above that, ready to go. And what I might do is I might throw in a hedge with euro. So as soon as the market opens, I might, instead of just waiting for, because, you know, who knows, price might not make it back up here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, when the market opens, kind of see if I can watch price and see if I can get any retracement at all and try to get in right where price is when the market opens. Short. Right? So if this decides it wants to just go straight down from here, well, then GBP is going to go down too. It's going to hit my stop, and I'll be making money on this drop. But if Euro and GBP decide to go back up for one more push up, obviously I'm going to be losing a little bit on this, but I'll be making it on GBP, and I can take profit and get out, and then potentially add on to my Euro position for the next down move. And I think that's, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to go for, honestly. And there's other opportunities out there. I'm starting to see Euro CAD. Yeah, look at this. We had this resistance trend line, long-term resistance trend line right here behind my head. Yep, see, support, support, support. Then we broke through, and we haven't made the retest yet on the monthly chart. And I kind of figured that this was going to keep going up. You know, I'm starting to see that I do know how to trade. I do know how to read these charts. It's just my execution is shit sometimes. You know what I mean? And you have to just be firm in your plan. Because this, yeah, you can see, yeah, we had a little break here. We had a little consolidation, another move down. Then we had a move up. Now we're in a consolidation, and now I think we're moving up. So we've just broken out of, oops, weekly. Let's go to 4 hour. Yeah, here's the consolidation right here. This little pattern, and we broke out to the upside. So if we get any retracement back into this zone or even this zone, I would consider even maybe splitting it up, half in this zone, half in this zone. If Euro retraces, I'd be looking for long there or long there, all the way up until we retest in this zone. So, yeah, like I say, anything for any retracement out of Euro CAD might be a good opportunity for a long play there for a little bit until we get up into this zone. And GBP JPY, see, like isn't it crazy how I kind of saw this coming, you know, I've been mentioning this, and it's like the charts kind of know it's coming, but you don't know what's going to happen to actually set this into play. And what it took was Jerome Powell's speech to come out and say, like, oh, we're going to keep raising it, and you know, all this money all of a sudden just kind of went boom into the yen. So the yen, you know, obviously got stronger. So I'm praying that we can get GBP, JPY back up into this zone for one more. I really love to see this thing come up into this zone one more time. And I'm going to be looking for short all the way down. And that would be, if I can get GBP, JPY up in this zone, I'd be willing to throw 100,000 units on it from here and then hold this. Because if we can hold that all the way back down to even this low, that's almost $23,000 for just, yeah. And it would be months and months. It would probably be like a year that all of this would take place. But that could be a potential great long-term, just get in and let it go kind of move. So I'm just going to leave this here as a feeler, you know what I mean, and see if price will come up and fill this. But yeah, there's you know, there's other opportunities. Like you could do the same thing with Aussie USD. Look for shorts and NZD USD. It still looks like we're just correcting for another move down. See, NZD, we're not really into that weekly zone of support yet. We came and just kissed it, but like we're still correcting here. So it looks like potentially another drop is coming. So that's all I'm going to focus on this week is pretty much Euro USD short and see what happens with GBP USD, but potentially get in this short and, yeah, see what happens with the other pairs. But, yeah, anyways, that's it for this one. Make sure you subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. See you later.